So let's take a look at the Art Center. Hey, Melissa from Leach's Literacy Training is in the house. Her hubby is actually down in Houston helping with the recovery effort as part of the military. So thank you very much, Melissa. I know that you're pulling single mom duty right now, and we so appreciate your husband's efforts on behalf of our country. Thank you so much. So let's talk about the Art Center. So it doesn't have to be called the Art Center. You can call it whatever you want. It could be a creation station. When I worked at Head Start, we called our Art Center the Creation Station. And then popular nowadays is the Tinker Station or anything like that. So call it whatever you want. It's a fun place for kids to make stuff, right? So provide a place where kids can make stuff. That's the most important thing that you do, right? Provide an area where they can find the resources and materials in your classroom that they need to create stuff. Okay, to be creative, to express their creativity. So some of those things. So here's the deal with my Art Center. For those of you that have followed me for a long time, you're like, Vanessa, you don't have an Art Center. That's because I combined my art in my writing center because I feel like kids need motivation to write, and there is no kid who's going to go to the Art Center on his or her own. I mean, the writing center. So I turned it into an art/writing center because when they create stuff, they can write about it. So I have my writing/art center, and in that center live some things that kids can create with. And those things live there all the time after the first few weeks of school, once I've introduced them. Like, I'm not going to put the scissors out on the first day. That would be a big no-no. But after I've introduced some of the basic materials in there, they live there, quote unquote, because, you know, we all live at school, right? They think we do. Those things stay there permanently as long as kids, you know, have been introduced to how to use them. They can use them over in that area, whatever you want to call it. So those things are glue sticks. Yeah, glue sticks live there. They have free reign of the glue sticks. After I've introduced how to use them in the beginning of the year, then the glue sticks go and live there. And I also have, gasp, are you ready for this? Liquid glue. You guys, liquid glue has so many benefits for our kiddos, for their fine motor skills. I don't care if they squeeze a puddle, as long as they're squeezing the glue. And there's some kids that are going to go there every day and they're going to squeeze a puddle. And guess what? Those are the kids who need to be squeezing puddles because they need to exercise their fine motor skills. And so you can, I've created little songs before, you know, I just make them up on the fly, like dot, dot, not a lot, I don't know, stuff like that, so that they can kind of get the feel for it, because they don't have enough strength in their hands. I know Melissa's like, she's on team no glue. But I do put it there after I've introduced it to them, and I let them police themselves. And if they make a puddle, then it's a science experiment to see how many days and weeks it takes to dry up. But it's great for squeezing those, you know, using those fine motor skills. But if they want to create something, sometimes if you're gluing popsicle sticks together and bigger stuff like cardboard, you need something a little stronger than just glue sticks. So, and those of you who are scared of liquid glue, you can try those glue sponges. I don't use them every day, but if liquid glue scares you, put a glue sponge out there just to ease your way into it. It's like jumping into cold water, right? Scissors. I know, and everyone else out there is like, no. I do put them there after we've introduced them to the children and we've gone over the rules, routines, and procedures. Now, if you work in a really prescribed program where everything you do is controlled, and there's lots of programs like that, then maybe this won't be allowed. But once my kids have been introduced to safety scissors, these are Fiskars, I put them out there. And let me tell you, kids love to have free reign over these materials, to know that you trust them to use these materials. It really raises the bar for them because they feel like they're little adults, you know, so they've got their scissors and their glue, they feel important, it's meaningful to them. It's stuff that they don't always get access to at home, right? Not too many parents give their kids free reign over scissors at home. So I have some safety scissors. Oh yeah, Claire, you can use paintbrushes with glue. Absolutely. Good idea. She's always full of good ideas. Scissors, glue. Okay, so those are two things that always live in my art center. Markers, of course. And if you want to get like the sparkly markers or the Centos, those are enticing tools that you can put in your art center that entice children to use these writing tools who wouldn't normally use writing tools, right? So they're using them for a purpose, and that would be to decorate or write on their creations or things that they've made. So Centos are great because they smell amazing. But you do have to introduce them to the kids and explain how they work, just to make sure that you're all on the same page. Of course, you've got your pencils. I try to have pencils, crayons, markers. Oh, and my crayons are over here too. I've got some crayons, markers, scissors, glue, different types of paper. So not just like, I usually have white copy paper and then I'll cut up a bunch of construction paper. The construction paper, when children draw on it with a crayon usually, it gives more resistance than copy paper does. So those kids who need to be able to feel that, construction paper does that. It's also more colorful and attractive. That's right. A lot of parents don't let their kids play with scissors at home, and I understand why they don't. So yeah, that's our job at school. Oh, Mary says buttons, googly eyes. Absolutely. Another great thing that kids love, and this is not something that kids normally get to play with at home, is masking tape. And they love that stuff. And let me tell you, they pick at the edge to try and pull it off. That's great, great fine motor skills. Hole punchers, you can just use the good old ones from the dollar store. Those work fine. My kids really like these. This one I got from the dollar spot a while ago. Do you see that one? It's a lever punch. And they put the paper in one end and then they push on it and it makes these little heart shapes. And, well, maybe this one is not from the dollar spot, but they have similar ones like this. This one's a fancier one. But they love, love, love to use these things, these punches, to make shapes. Let me just do one real quick. So I just did a little heart in my greeting card there. They think these things are the coolest thing ever. These little punches here, and they're obviously great for fine motor skills. And they use these little pieces that they punch out to decorate their artwork, just any old way they want. I've had some kids sit there and just punch out hearts for like an hour and then glue them all to paper and make like an awesome mosaic collage type thing. Hi, Ola BC. Nice to see you. And then my greeting cards. My greeting cards are my secret weapon, because greeting cards, I just take the front off of the greeting card, so I collect them. I have people collect them for me. I collect them, and then I just rip off the inside part that has the words on them, and we just save the cover. And they love these because a lot of them have animals on them. They go through and they pick out their favorites. And then the rule that we have is that you have to cut out the pictures. And I don't care if they cut around the cat or if they just make little tiny snips around the edges to make fringe. I don't really care. My whole goal is for them to cut with scissors, but they're doing it in a fun and meaningful way. And some kids will spend the whole hour just fringing the edges here, you know, and then they'll glue the whole thing, because then I say if you cut it, then you need to glue it. And then they glue it to paper, and then they'll take the marker and they'll draw around it and they'll glue some little hearts on. They just take such care in the creation of the things they make with these used greeting cards. It's like my little secret weapon in the art center. So those things are things that always live in my art/writing center. I call it a writing center for the powers that be, but it's an art center disguised as a writing center. Shh, don't tell anyone. So then there's also an easel that's available every day. The easel is so important. It has so many benefits. We could do a whole Teaching Tribe Power Hour on the benefits of the easel, and how it exercises those muscles in the wrist, the hands, the fingers, the arms that kids need to develop writing skills. But an easel also is a great medium for kids to, create on. And so I have an easel available to my kids every day, and I have the easel from IKEA. It's $20, and it's really super cool. I have those, but my space, this classroom is only 13 feet by 13 feet, and it just didn't fit in here. So I made my own. You'll have to go back and watch the classroom tour I did a couple weeks ago. I used IKEA picture ledges, the kind that you would hang on your wall and then prop pictures in. I used those ledges and some large cookie sheets to create my own easels on the wall. And those work just as well, and they're actually at a better height for the little ones. And I just hot glued clothespins on the cookie sheets, and then they just put the paper, and they can be completely independent that way. So the easel, always available, and it doesn't have to be a fancy, expensive teacher store easel. It can be an IKEA easel, or it can be as simple as an art ledge on the wall that you've propped up a piece of plywood on, or whatever you want to do. Cookie sheets was just a really easy thing for me. They were really lightweight because I mounted the ledges on a door that I have that's locked, and a closet door that, storage cabinet door. So Kara, go back and watch the classroom tour video that I did a couple weeks ago. Tom will drop a link in the comments for you to that video. I'm not set up to show it tonight because I have all these lights in the tiny little space that I'm in. Paint strips, says Mary, absolutely. Oh yes, I have had kids make like little houses using the paint chips and all that. Okay, so then I've always got the easel. I've always got my both types of glue, my scissors, my markers, my crayons, my paper, my masking tape if you have it. That does go fast though. And sometimes I'll just say, well, when it's out, it's out. We won't have any more for a while. Hole punchers, and then my used greeting cards. Hole punchers you can get at the dollar store. I get the ones with the levers like this sometimes from the dollar spot, or Michael's and Joann's and Hobby Lobby always have them. My greeting cards, and then my easel. But here's the thing. Now I'm going to rotate out special materials. So I can't have like every material under the sun there every single day, but I can rotate out special materials. There's the link to the classroom tour video for you. So for example, maybe I have watercolors at the easel one week. I love to use watercolors because they just look so beautiful when they're dry. I really like the way that they look. So we do watercolors, and then you can do regular tempera paint, a little bit of Dawn dish detergent in your tempera paint will keep it from, or make it easier to wash out, make a little bit easier, not too much, but a few drops in each cup. And then I might change it up. And one week we might do puffy paint. I might put puffy paint out at the tables. If I put puffy paint on the easel, it drips down, but puffy paint, I should have got them out. I got ketchup and mustard squeezy containers from the local Daiso, and then you can put paint in those, and then they can squeeze the paint out. Great. It's just like squeezing glue for them, that little fine motor stuff going on there. So you can put your paint into the condiment containers. I got mine at Daiso. They often have them at the Dollar Tree as well. Cookie cutters, somebody was asking in the Facebook group what to do with cookie cutters, and they're great for Play-Doh, of course, but you can also use them as prints in paint. You can dip them in paint and have kids use them as prints. That would be great at the easel. Cotton balls in clothespins. If you take a clippy clothespin, spring-loaded one, and you put a cotton ball at the end, and they can dab the cotton ball, and they can do like impression, what is that type of art? I'm obviously not an art teacher, where they make the little dots. Is that impressionist? I'm not really sure. But they can dot the little, cotton balls on there. Bath puffs. Those mesh loofahs they sell everywhere at the dollar store? Those are great for making, pointillism, there you go. Those are great for making prints on the easel, okay? Loofahs, and again, this is dollar store stuff. Loofahs make great prints. My loofah, I have a loofah that on one end, it actually is like a heart. I don't know, it just happened that way. I've had this loofah for years, but it's great when we do heart prints. It's kind of like when you take a cardboard tube and you make the dent in the top to make a heart, just like that. But my loofah makes hearts. Bubble wrap, that's an awesome one to change out. You can put little pieces of bubble wrap and they can press the bubble wrap onto paint, and then they can press that onto paper. Again, they're making prints. Cars dipped in paint and then have an inclined plane, and that could just be a block from your block center that you covered in paper, and they can zoom the cars down there and dip the cars in paint and then zoom them down there, and they can watch the prints. Chalk on black construction paper. And did you all see the one this week? It was a viral video on Facebook. It was a black dry erase marker on tin foil, and then you squirted water on it and it made the little pictures dance. That was super cool. But foil and wax paper are good for doing that kind of thing. Finger painting, of course. And one of my favorites was golf ball painting. We used to take golf balls and dip them in paint and then put a piece of paper in the copy box, the top of a copy box, you know, like a copy paper box. And then we would shift it back and forth like that, and the balls would roll all over. Super fun. Okay, so those are some things that you can put in your art center to change them out, to add them, put them in every few weeks and change them out and spice it up. So I have things that live in my art center all the time, my secret writing center and art center combined. I have things that live there all the time, and then things that I add in to give kids experiences, because it would be great if we could paint with bath puffs and loofahs and bubble wrap and cars and golf balls and puffy paint every single day, but the reality is there's not enough room for all of that over in the art center. So I just change out those things and give them the open-ended opportunities to use those. So there is no final product when they're there in the art center using these materials. They are just using them in any way they see fit. And then if you can have an area near the art center where they can put their work up that they want to display, that's always a good idea. When I was at Head Start, we had a bulletin board in our art center. It just happened to be that way that year. And of course they couldn't reach the top, but the bottom of it they could. And we let them just put up their own work on the bulletin board when they wanted to, and it was really interesting to see what they chose to put up there. So try that out if you can. In my last classroom, I had a bulletin board in the art/writing center, and we gave them the bottom part of that too. And it was just so fun. They would take the masking tape and put things up there, and then they would come in and they would take it down and put it in their backpack. It was just like they put great thought into it, you know? So those are some ideas. Oh, bingo daubers. Somebody mentioned bingo. I love bingo daubers. Oh yes, those could live in the art center all the time. Once they learn how to use those are awesome. Those are super fun. Sorry, I missed a few comments here. Let me go back a bit, see if it will let me. Yeah, I always buy those safe bingo daubers from Lakeshore. They're non-toxic, they don't stain. But the ones from the dollar store are like permanent, so I wouldn't use those. Yeah. Painting with golf balls, Judy, is just like marble painting, only the golf balls are not a choking hazard. Oh, crayons at the easel, yes, absolutely. Another thing that's really cool at the easel are quick sticks. I didn't get to grab my link to those, but quick sticks are these paint sticks, and they're very silky, soft. My kids love quick sticks, and they're kind of almost, they function almost like a crayon, and they twist up, and then they just use them on the easel almost like a crayon, and they can make pictures, and they go on very smoothly, and they dry in less than 60 seconds. So I love that part about them too. But crayons is a great idea. Jen says she loves painting on bubble wrap and then printing it on paper. Yes, bubble wrap is fun because we often get it in the mail, right? Instead of just throwing it away, you can use it in your art center. Teachers are the best recyclers, I tell you what. Thank you guys. I'm getting an education in art tonight. Pointillism, is that what it's called? I don't know. Bingo daubers. Yep. How do you keep your painted papers from rolling? I don't. I mean, they're going to roll. It's not the end of the world. The kids don't care. I don't really worry about it. Yeah. It's just a occupational hazard, right? Oh, Vicky says she puts drops of baby shampoo in the paint to make it easier to wash out. Brilliant. Genius. Genius award. I have not heard that one yet. I've always used Dawn dish soap. That is a really good idea. And you can get baby shampoo at the dollar store. There you go. Ding, ding, ding. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. You're welcome, Patricia. Christine says she just looked at the IKEA easel last night, thought it might be too tall. Yeah, I think it's a little tall for, for my 4s in the beginning of the year and definitely for 3s. It kind of cuts them off like right here at the chest. And so they're just kind of, they're reaching up. So that's why I like mine that are mounted on the door. Another reason why I like them is because I put them very low. So it really hits them right in the belly, and then, it doesn't hit them, but, it comes up right to their belly, and then they can, easily reach everything. They don't have to reach up. Because it's awkward. If you're trying to think about if you were trying to paint up, it's not as, good thinking. Okay, coming back down here. Recycle hoarder, but she's okay with it, says Stacy. Yeah, don't look in my pantry. I save Kleenex boxes, Pringles cans, cardboard tubes, you name it, I save it. Stacy says she adds a few drops of regular hand soap in all of her paints. Another great idea. Any particular brand of hand soap, Stacy? Let us know. Masking tape on the edges helps the paper not roll, says Claire. Thank you, Claire. She's a wealth of information. See, I've just never cared. I'm terrible. I just thought it was an occupational hazard. I'm like, painting with corks. Yes. Then I would be afraid that people would think I was drinking on the job. I know you can buy the corks at the, teacher store, but I've always been afraid to use corks because I'm like, people are going to think I'm drinking. And freezing paint into ice cube trays with popsicle sticks in the top. Absolutely. See, the possibilities are completely endless, right? I mean, you could have something new out there every day for them to explore with. It also keeps it fresh. So if you have kids who might not go there for the markers, the scissors, the crayons, and the glue, they might go over there if you had cars in paint, right? It always brings in a new clientele. They might go over there if you had the bubble wrap or the mustard and ketchup squeezy containers, they might go there. Yeah, exactly. And then I'm going to start getting wine as Christmas gifts, right? Oh my goodness. Okay. So those are some ideas for your art center. Some things that always live there, and then other things that you rotate out, fun stuff. And then of course, always an easel. Yeah, Lori says she takes her table toys and they paint with them. Absolutely. Legos make great prints. Why not? And then I have those Lakeshore letter Play-Doh stampers. They're for Play-Doh, but they also make great paint stamps. So, Mary says she freezes water in balloons. She takes it off after the balloon is frozen and lets them paint with watercolor. Absolutely. Great ideas, everybody. Gears. Yes. Another table toy that makes great prints. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. So those are some ideas for your art center. I also, when I was at IKEA, I got this really nice, very sturdy, it's made of metal. I think there's a picture of it in my classroom tour. Tray to hold all the different types of paper. So it holds 8.5 by 11. Actually, it'll hold 9 by 12 sheets of paper, and it has 6 little pull-out drawers, but they're not completely closed off. They're open with just a little ledge on the front. And then I can have my copy paper and then all my different colors of construction paper in there. I don't use it as storage or anything, but you could. And then the kids can easily get to the paper in there. And they love that. It's just very easy to use. It's not like a plastic one. It's a metal one. It was like $10 at IKEA, and I think it was a good investment because it's very sturdy. You know how the plastic ones, they wiggle around and the kids can, you know, they fall over and stuff, but this is a very sturdy one. I like it. And it can't really get broken. It's not. Sand painting is so cool. Sand into the paint. Ooh, that's a good one. Another one I've done is I've taken chalk and I rubbed it over salt, and then they have this colored stuff that they can sprinkle on top of glue. That's always fun too. All right, guys, I want to thank everybody for, whoops, there goes my glue. Everyone for watching tonight. And I want to remind you about the Hurricane Harvey Adopt a Classroom program. If you haven't signed up already and you would like to, you can check it out at the link that Tom will leave for you. And if you want to know more about how you can teach better, save time, and live more, then you're going to want to check out my premium membership site at the Teaching Tribe. Where I help teachers just like you teach better, save time, and live more. We only enroll members a few times each year. Our doors are currently closed, but you can get on the waiting list, and that way you'll be notified as soon as we open again. All right. So thanks a lot for watching, and I will be back soon with another broadcast. I'm trying to set up a system where it will send you a message through Facebook instead of a text when we go live, just to make it easier for everybody. But I haven't got that quite set up yet. Oh, I'm so sorry, Lynn. Yes, absolutely. Are you getting hit too? I'm so sorry. All right, guys. Be well and take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.